Rory McIlroy. That's where we're going next because, Mark, those two short misses down the stretch, they're probably going to haunt him for quite some time. How much scar tissue do you think Rory will take forward from what happened Sunday at Pinehurst?
I don't want to overreact to what we just saw, guys. And I know that there are people on social media saying, let's not forget what Rory McIlroy did in 2011 at the Masters and then what he went on to do. But this is a different Rory, guys. That was a young man. This is 13 years later. This is a lot of scar tissue already. This is an individual over the last year that had a horrific time off the golf course. Obviously, marriage issues that are hopefully back on track. In a way, feeling like the PGA Tour threw him under the bus with the public investment fund. I mean, it's been a hard year for Rory McIlroy, and I don't know if he comes back from this one. And I'll throw another one at you guys as well. Horrible club decision on 15. Misses the putt from inside 3 feet on 16. He was 496 for 496 on the year before that miss. And how do you let Rory McIlroy hit driver on the last? How do you allow him to hit a club that doesn't give him some wiggle room? If he turns it over, misses it right, he should have picked the club that went to the wider target. And that's where I'm going to go with this with you guys. I don't know if Rory can win a major with his best friend on his bag. I love Harry. I think Harry Diamond a lot of times gets a bad rap, takes a lot of the blame. But I think Rory has proven now, from what we just saw on Sunday, that he needs a ring general. He needs a boss. He needs somebody to look at him like we saw with Steve Williams and push back sometimes and maybe have an opinion out there, because I don't know how you hit driver at him on the last hole. That to me is mind-boggling.
Especially there was a little extra juice behind that swing on 18, 190 miles per hour of ball speed off the tee. Bob, I want to get your perspective on this too. For Rory McIlroy, you mentioned he's not playing this week at the Travelers Championship. What do you think his outlook is now for the rest of his season?
I think he's a little fatigued probably. That was 4 weeks in a row, or it's 3 weeks in a row, I guess. He was going to play 4 weeks in a row, but he's played a lot. He's done a lot. He's had a lot on his mind personally. Off the course. And so I think right now taking 2 weeks off is probably the best thing that he could do. You know, if you go back to the last round, I think there's a lot of good stuff. He hit 46 of 56 fairways. So his driver and whatever clubs he were using were working fairly well, just not at the proper time, as Mark pointed out. The putt on 18, as short as it was not an easy putt. It's a downhill slider. There's probably 6-8 inches of break in it from what we saw. So that was not an easy putt to make, just because it's a short one. The one on 16, without a doubt, was a flinch, and you can see his left elbow come up as he comes through the ball. And so I think, we talk about, will this create scar tissue? He's already got pounds of scar tissue on him. He is not a guy who has had it easy here. He's had so many close calls, and just recently you can go back to last year's U.S. Open. You can go back to the Open Championship that he lost to Cam Smith, whereas if he had sunk one long putt like he did earlier in the round on Sunday this time around, if he'd sunk one of those 20 or 22 footers at the Open rather than making them at the U.S. Open, he might already have another claret jug. So there's lots to look at, and I think for Rory right now, taking some time off, getting some perspective, saying, hey, look, I finished second, yes, again, but I did finish second in another major. Maybe that'll help him as he gets into that Scottish Open Championship run.
And we won't see Rory McIlroy back in action until the Genesis Scottish Open. It's now 6 consecutive top 10s for Rory McIlroy at the U.S. Open. 2 straight runner-up finishes, but yet again, hasn't won a major since 2014.